Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Starting the Day That Way 5-minute devotion for December 7th, 2020. All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so we have a saying in our house for our little guy, and it is, don't delay the obey. And when we first had to explain that, it was my wife. My wife came up with that saying, and he's like, well, what do you mean? Well, and she went on to explain obedience is good, and obviously the best case scenario. But when you don't listen for a moment and try to think about ways out of what we're asking you to do, that's called delaying the obey. And that's still, in the end, disobedience. So, in praying before we came on, God led me to this portion of scripture in Luke chapter 5. And it's when Jesus was first choosing his disciples. All right, so picking up from verse 2, it said, he, meaning Jesus, noticed 2 empty boats at the water's edge, for the fishermen had left them and were washing their nets. Stepping into one of the boats, Jesus asked Simon, its owner, to push it out into the water. So he sat in the boat and taught the crowd from there. When he had finished speaking, he had said to Simon, now go where it's deeper and let down your nets to catch some fish. Master, Simon replied, we worked hard all last night and didn't catch a thing. But if you say so, I'll let the nets down again. And this time their nets were so full of fish, they began to tear. A shout for help brought their partners in the other boat, and soon both boats were filled with fish and on the verge of sinking. When Simon Peter realized what had happened, he fell to his knees before Jesus and said, "O Lord, please leave me. I'm such a sinful man." For he was awestruck by the number of fish they had caught, as were the others with him. His partners, James and John, the sons of Zebedee, were also amazed. Jesus replied to Simon, "Don't be afraid. From now on, you'll be fishing for people." And as soon as they landed, they left everything and followed Jesus. So there's a couple of things in here, right? So obviously, Peter and his partners, James and John, were fishermen. They were well skilled in it. They were probably doing this for years. And they had just come in and they had a terrible night in the eyes of fishermen, having caught nothing, right? And so they were just cleaning their nets, which back at that time was very important to have your nets cleaned on a daily basis. So that was a whole process. So they came in the process of cleaning nets, and here comes this guy, Jesus, said, "Listen, I want your boat. Let's push it out." Simon obeyed, right? And he said, "Okay, no problem." And so they went out there. Jesus did some speaking, and they came back in, right? And then Jesus was like, "We're not done." He said, "Go back out." And now they probably had a 6, 8, 10, maybe even a 12-hour shift that night where they caught nothing. But why did Simon do it? Okay. Now think about this. Simon, years of fisherman, and Jesus, carpenter slash preacher, was telling Simon what to do. Why would Simon listen to him? I don't know, but he did. And the way scripture reads it, he did it immediately, right? And there's 2 other versions of this story. One comes from Mark, one comes from Matthew, and it basically just says Jesus was walking along the shore and called these men in. And Luke loves detail, so he gets a little bit deeper into what actually occurred here. And what ended up happening is that Jesus said exactly where to throw the nets. And Simon, again, all of his years of experience thrown out. How come? There was something unbelievably that was drawing him, which is obviously Jesus, to just total pure obedience, right? If we can learn to get to this point of obedience and not questioning, can you imagine what your life would be, right? And I'm not talking prosperity. I'm talking just overall blessings in every area of your life, right? Can you imagine if you felt the prompting of God on something in your life and you said, okay, right? Just okay, right? The way the fathers of the Old Testament did. Abraham, you're going to be the father of many, but I need you to move out of this place that you've known for all your life. Okay, right? How? Sometimes we can't comprehend how we can get to that point, right? So here's my question. My question is, are you allowing God to use your skills for God, or are you using it for yourself? Are you asking God where He wants you to throw the net that He's given you? Or are you hoarding that net and trying to control that net and trying to keep everything within inside that net? Or are you just are you going to allow God just to burst it open? Okay. Wherever you are in life, you can be a tremendous blessing. Okay. I'm a teacher. I try to change lives on a daily basis. Okay. I also, take out garbage from my church on Sundays after service. Okay. So it doesn't matter what you do. And you could be cleaning toilet bowls, and you can be a member of Congress. You can be an attorney. You can be a doctor. You can drive a garbage truck. It doesn't matter. God is waiting for you to ask him where to throw that net that will bring the most glory and honor and praise and momentum for the kingdom. So think about that. And there's a lot more lessons in here that can be drawn from this small passage, but I wanted to really focus on that. Okay. Don't delay the obey. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.